Good evening, everyone. I am Ridada, and welcome to the live show. Today we have with us a very special guest, the youngest golden chef, Alaa Varouqa. We are very happy to have you here with us, Alaa.
Thank you.
And welcome to the first episode of our show.
I am really interested in this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Alaa, let's start talking a little bit about what you studied and what your background in education is.
I studied administration at the University of Jordan, graduated with a PhD degree in administration in 2012.
Wow, that's great. So what did you work after college? What did you do as a career?
Well, I started working when I was 15 years old in 2005. My first job was with the USAID. And when I was 18 years old, I was a marketing manager at a company. The youngest one of them was 27, they were 14, which is something I'm really proud of. Then I have a really good background with business and art, and that's how the idea of homemade started.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell us what really inspired you to become a pastry chef and get into the homemade cakery?
Well, in July 2014, I went to a cake shop in Jordan and ordered a cake, a special designed cake, and I was really disappointed because the cake wasn't as good as I wanted. And I actually had to go to the shop 3 times to make sure that it is going to be exactly the way I wanted. And I was actually telling the chef what I want to do and what to fix. And this is when the first time having a business with pastry and art popped into my head. I always wanted to start my own business because I didn't go through all these years to stay working with companies. And then after like a month, it was Eid al-Fitr. So I thought of why not starting making our home cookies for our house and our guests. And I did. People actually liked them. The reactions were really good. People liked them and actually told me that and encouraged me to start selling them because they are not available in the market. Because
great. Yeah.
It was a combination between art and pastry. And then it was the second time of having a sweets and art business idea popped into my head, and this time it was for real. From the first Eid till the Eid al-Adha, it was the real things were happening. I thought of getting it started. I left my job and started thinking of let's make this happen. So the idea was to make people happy and bring back the enthusiasm in elder people because of Eid. You know, they always say Eid is now only for kids. So I wanted to bring back the joy. I started planning. Having a really good business background helped me of how to start my own business, thinking, studying the market, who are my competitors, what is their strengths and weaknesses, what could be my strength, and then started actually doing it, like applying myself online and knowing who are going to be my customers, my market mix. And then everything started on Eid. I was thinking of, the plan was to sell 800 cookies that time, and I sold 7,500 cookies that Eid, which is a really huge number. I actually had to stop taking orders because I was overwhelmed. Wow. And I remember there were a huge amount of people on the waiting list. In case anyone didn't get their boxes, they can take it instead. I remember calling a customer randomly, telling her that I have 15 cookies only left if she's interested in getting them. 15 minutes later, she was at my doorstep, wanted her cookies. Wow. And she is still my customer till this day. Wow. This is how everything started. From the first day I wanted to to start homemade, if you go back in the very first post of homemades, the idea wasn't only about mixing between sweets and art. Homemade, I wanted homemade to be something more than that, what it is now. We do classes, we give courses, we do marketing. I'm an influencer, so you can actually say that we are on the right footsteps.
On the right track, yeah.
Yeah.
So is that what makes you different than the other homemade pastries and the other pastry shops? That you actually do more than just the pastry?
I think that doing the pastry stuff with love is what makes homemades different.
That's wonderful. So just what's really, really interesting is that you were named the Golden Chef, the youngest Golden Chef in the world.
Yeah.
Tell us how you got involved in that and how you got that title.
Well, it was risky. It was really out of my comfort zone because when I first started applying gold in pastry, it was live in a morning talk show in the Middle East with 24 carats gold cookies. It was really a high risk for me. And this is how everything started. A company in Italy called me, and this is how I got the title.
So Alaa, what tips and advice do you have for the younger generation who sees you and looks up to you as a business owner and a successful young Circassian lady?
Well, the first step is going to be for everyone, not only for people who are thinking of starting their own business, which is find what you are actually good at, something you are passionate of, because it is actually healthy. When you are sad or down, you can actually practice this thing, and you can actually call it meditation. Then the next step, if you think you are good enough in doing it, and you think it might turn out into a good business, you have to think twice. Are you actually ready and able to do this thing for the rest of your life? Because starting your own business is really hard. You have to keep thinking about that thing for 24/7. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with an idea in my head. I have to actually get up and write it down so I can start applying it the next morning. If you had the idea that you are starting getting mad or stressed because of thinking of that thing all the time, then it is not the right thing to do or starting a business in. The second tip is to read, try, and practice, because reading actually helped me. When someone starts writing a book, they spend 3-4 years of that kind of experience and they write it down in a book. You are saving time in reading their books, and practice makes perfect.
Of course, yeah.
The third tip I might give them is to be online. In these days, if you are not online, you are not existed. Even if, as a person, if anyone tell you about a business or a shop, or even someone telling you about someone, you are going to look them up. If you are not thinking of having a base, a marketing base on social media, you can have a brochure page, which is just telling people the main things in your business, or just to know the most important information about your business. Another tip I might give them is good planning and smart marketing, because planning can save a lot of your time. If you planned your day really well, you are not going to waste time. If you didn't, you are going to spend a lot of time wasting it scrolling down the Facebook. If you did plan your day or your business in a really good way, you are going to save a lot of time. Smart marketing is really important. You have to know when to share the post, when to share a picture or a text, because everything is different. How to transfer people from an application to another, because it is really different. And actually, it's hard to transfer them from like Facebook to YouTube. So you have to know how. And reading can actually help to know how. Also, I can give them the tip of if you ask anyone, if you can give yourself an advice, your younger self an advice, they are all going to say that they are going to advise themselves to be more relaxed and to take things not too much serious. Because it's going to stress you out. I was really stressed when I first started homemade. And then I learned myself to worry about tomorrow. And you actually have to believe. And if it's meant to be, it will find a way to be. And if anything happened, even if it's not good, it happens for a reason. These are my main tips that I always give to people.
That's great. Those are great tips. Thank you so much, Alaa. Thank you very much for the great advice.
Thank you.
We are very proud of you.
Thank you.
For you to be part of our community. A wonderful, successful young lady such as yourself is just a very proud thing for us. And now we're going to take a short break. We have another special guest with us here, Omar Sharkasi, who will be playing a little bit of Circassian music for us. For that lovely piece. That was amazing. Thank you. And as you guys know, we are live and we have some people from around the world sending us questions. We have a question from Holland, from Tambi. He would like to know, Alaa, what is your favorite treat to make?
Anything with Nutella.
Anything with Nutella? What is your favorite thing to make with Nutella?
I really enjoy making Nutella with crunch. It's the filling of the cake, actually. But I enjoy eating it. It's the filling, but it's
I think
so
we all do. Yes, I think we all do. I think we all have to try some of Alaa's pastries.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. We have another question from Leila from Egypt. We heard that you've worked with charities and that you were given the title representative of the Knights of Happiness.
Yeah.
So you do work with charities a lot, and this is a pretty nice title to actually have. How did you get this title?
Well, from the day one I started homemade, I do believe in karma, and that's why I'm doing this. Give to get. For me, a charity is something that actually makes me happy. Whenever I'm down, I have to do something with charity, with elder people or orphans or even cancer patients. I enjoy doing it, and that's why.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So who gave you the title?
It's, I think they are called Knights of Happiness. They are worldwide and started in Dubai.
Wow, that's great. That's great. You're even known in Dubai. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Alaa, for being our guest. And we would like to welcome you back anytime
Thank you.
you would like to join us. And Omar, thank you so much for being with us. And if we could just hear a little bit more from Omar, and we wish you all a good night.